Have you ever wondered if a tiny coin sitting forgotten inside an old piggy bank, a dusty drawer, or a jar in your garage could secretly be worth tens of thousands of dollars? What if I told you that one small American dime has surprised collectors by becoming one of the most talked about coins in the hobby, with some rare examples selling for astonishing prices? Today, we're counting down 6 incredible US coins that every collector should know about. But don't skip ahead, because each coin becomes more exciting than the last, and one of them could completely change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Our first coin is a historic Roosevelt Dime from 1946 with the Denver D mint mark. At first glance, it looks ordinary, but under the right conditions, this tiny silver coin can become the centerpiece of an advanced collection. We'll reveal why collectors chase it, what details separate common examples from valuable ones, the history behind its creation, and why some outstanding specimens have reached values approaching $79,000 at major auctions. So grab your favorite coin collection, stay until the end, and let's begin today's incredible journey on Coin Master USA. Coin 1, 1946D, Roosevelt Dime. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with a coin that represents both American history and the beginning of one of the most collected coin series ever produced. The year was 1946. America was celebrating the end of World War II while also mourning the passing of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II and his support for the March of Dimes campaign against polio, the United States honored him by placing his portrait on the dime. The very first Roosevelt dimes were released in 1946. Among them was the famous Denver Mint version carrying the small D mint mark. Millions were struck, which might make this coin seem common at first glance. But experienced collectors know something many people don't. Condition changes everything. A typical circulated 1946D Roosevelt dime may only be worth a modest premium over its silver content. However, when the coin survives in exceptional mint state condition with beautiful original luster, sharp details, and strong eye appeal, collector demand rises dramatically. And then comes another level. Some examples display outstanding strike quality, blazing mint luster, and nearly flawless preservation. These are the coins that attract serious bidders at major auctions. When elite collectors compete for one extraordinary coin, prices can rise to astonishing levels. Some exceptional specimens have approached values around $79,000, showing just how important rarity and condition can become in the numismatic market. So what should you look for? First, check the date. It should read 1946. Next, turn the coin over and locate the small D mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. Then carefully inspect the surfaces. Strong original luster is a major advantage. Sharp lettering and clean fields are desirable. Minimal wear on Roosevelt's hair, cheek, and jawline is another positive sign. On the reverse, examine the torch, olive branch, and oak branch. Strong details suggest a well-preserved coin. If your dime still has its original silver brilliance, very few contact marks, and excellent overall eye appeal, it may deserve professional grading. Professional authentication and grading can help establish the coin's condition and increase buyer confidence if you ever decide to sell. Another reason collectors love the 1946D Roosevelt dime is its historical importance. It wasn't simply another circulating coin. It marked the beginning of an entirely new series that continues today. Owning an early example connects collectors with an important chapter in American history. Many collectors spend years searching for premium examples because high-grade survivors become increasingly difficult to locate. Most coins entered circulation and developed scratches, wear, or cleaning damage over time. Finding one that escaped decades of heavy use is much harder than many people realize. That's why experienced collectors always recommend examining old coin albums, inherited collections, estate boxes, and forgotten jars before spending older silver dimes. You never know what might be waiting. Remember, age alone doesn't create value. A coin's condition, originality, rarity within its grade, collector demand, and certification all play a major role in determining its true market value. If you believe you have a remarkable example, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning can reduce collector value because many buyers prefer original, untouched surfaces. Instead, store it safely and consider having it examined by a reputable coin grading service. Imagine discovering that a dime worth only 10 cents in everyday spending could actually become one of the highlights of a serious collection. That's exactly why millions of Americans continue searching through old coins every single year. Every collection begins with one exciting discovery. Could the next one be yours? Stay with us, because the next coin on today's countdown is even more surprising, and its story may be even more unbelievable. Don't go anywhere. Next up, coin number 2. Welcome back to Coin Master USA. If you thought our first coin was impressive, don't look away now, because the next Roosevelt Dime has a story that surprises many collectors. At first glance, this 1957D Roosevelt Dime may look like nothing more than an old, dark, dirty silver coin. Many people would probably toss it into a change jar without thinking twice. But that's exactly where incredible discoveries sometimes begin. The year is 1957. The coin carries the D Mint mark, showing it was struck at the Denver Mint. During that era, every Roosevelt dime was still made from 90% silver and 10% copper, making these coins especially attractive to collectors and silver enthusiasts. Over the decades, many of these dimes developed dark toning, black spots, and worn surfaces from years of circulation. While those signs alone do not make a coin valuable, they tell the story of a coin that has traveled through American history. Now here's where things become exciting. Although ordinary circulated 1957D, Roosevelt dimes are usually worth far less than the figure we're discussing today. Exceptional examples, especially those with extraordinary preservation, rare mint characteristics, or other highly desirable features, can attract tremendous interest from advanced collectors. In the most remarkable cases, values have reached around $55,100. That number surprises many people. How can such a small coin reach such a high value? The answer is simple: rarity plus condition plus collector demand. When thousands of collectors are searching for the very best examples, but only a tiny number survive in elite condition, competition can become intense. Let's examine what you should look for. Start with the date. It should clearly read in 57. Next, look on the reverse near the bottom left of the torch to find the D Mint mark. If the coin has never been harshly cleaned, that's a positive sign. Original surfaces are highly prized by collectors. Check Roosevelt's portrait carefully. Look for strong details in the hair, forehead, ear, and jawline. Then inspect the reverse. The torch should show crisp detail. The olive branch and oak branch should appear sharp and well-defined. Even if your coin has dark toning or a black appearance from age, don't assume it's worthless. Natural toning can occur over decades and is not unusual for silver coins. In some cases, attractive original toning is appreciated by collectors, while damage or improper cleaning may reduce value. If your coin appears unusually sharp with minimal wear despite its age, it may be worth having professionally evaluated. Another important point is that many people unknowingly spend silver Roosevelt dimes because they don't recognize them. Every Roosevelt dime dated 1964 or earlier was struck in 90% silver. That means even common examples are different from modern clad dimes. Collectors continue searching estate sales, inherited collections, old bankrolls, antique shops, and forgotten coin albums hoping to discover a hidden treasure. Sometimes the biggest surprise comes from the smallest coin. Imagine opening an old family coin box and finding a silver dime that everyone overlooked for decades. That possibility is exactly what keeps the excitement alive in the coin collecting hobby. If you believe you have an outstanding 1957D Roosevelt dime, resist the temptation to polish or clean it. Cleaning often removes original surfaces that collectors value. Instead, place the coin in a protective holder and consider having it authenticated by a respected professional grading service. A certified grade can help determine whether your coin is an ordinary circulated example or something far more desirable. One small coin, one historic year, one exciting possibility. Could a forgotten 1957D Roosevelt dime become one of the highlights of your collection? It's always worth taking a closer look. And don't leave yet, because coin 3 on today's countdown has an even more fascinating story, and many collectors believe it has one of the most exciting backgrounds in the entire list. Stay with Coinmaster USA. The biggest surprise is still ahead. Next up, coin number 3. Welcome back to Coinmaster USA. You've already seen 2 incredible Roosevelt dimes, but now it's time for a coin that many Americans have handled without ever realizing its potential. Imagine opening an old family coin box, finding a dark brown worn silver dime, and discovering that collectors are willing to pay astonishing amounts for the finest known examples. That is the fascinating story of the 1962D Roosevelt dime. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark on the reverse. It belongs to the original silver Roosevelt dime series, containing 90% silver and 10% copper, making it one of the last generations of circulating U.S. silver dimes before the composition changed after 1964. At first glance, your coin may appear old, brown, dark, or heavily toned from decades of circulation. Many collectors discover these coins with natural aging, and some even mistake them for ordinary pocket change. But experienced numismatists know that appearances can be deceiving. The first thing to examine is the date. Does it clearly read 1962? Next, check for the D mint mark near the bottom left of the torch on the reverse. Now inspect the details carefully. Are Roosevelt's hair and facial features still sharp? Does the torch show crisp vertical lines? Are the olive and oak branches well defined? Coins with strong detail, original surfaces, and minimal damage are much more desirable than heavily worn examples. Here's where the excitement begins. While ordinary circulated 1962D, Roosevelt dimes generally sell for only modest amounts. The very finest certified examples, especially those with exceptional strike quality and eye appeal, can command dramatically higher prices in the collector market. Exceptional coins have brought impressive auction results, although values depend on the certified grade, rarity, and collector demand. For today's countdown, we're highlighting an outstanding example with an estimated market value of around $50,700. The kind of value associated with an extraordinary specimen rather than a typical circulated coin. This is why coin collectors never judge a coin by age alone. Condition is everything. Original mint luster, sharp details, minimal contact marks, strong eye appeal, professional certification. These factors can completely change a coin's value. Another reason collectors enjoy the 1962D Roosevelt dime is its place in American history. It represents the final years of circulating U.S. silver dimes before the major composition change in the mid-1960s. Every one of these silver dimes carries a small piece of American monetary history. If you inherit an old collection from parents or grandparents, never spend the silver dimes without checking them first. You may discover a remarkable survivor that has been hidden away for decades. One important piece of advice: never polish or clean your coin. Cleaning often removes the original surface that serious collectors want to see and can reduce its collector value. Instead, place it in a protective holder, and if it appears exceptional, consider submitting it to a respected third-party grading service for authentication. Imagine the excitement of learning that a tiny 10-cent coin tucked away for generations has become one of the highlights of a valuable collection. That's the thrill that keeps millions of collectors searching through old jars, albums, estate collections, and family keepsakes every year. So before you spend another old silver dime, take a closer look. Because history, rarity, and condition sometimes come together to create something truly extraordinary. And don't leave yet. Coin 4 is coming next, and its story is even more surprising. It could be the most exciting coin in this entire countdown, so stay with Coin Master USA because the biggest discoveries are still ahead. Next up, coin number 4. Welcome back to Coin Master USA. Now we've reached one of the most mysterious coins in today's countdown. This is a coin that millions of Americans have seen, millions have spent, and almost nobody stopped to examine closely. I'm talking about the 1965 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. At first, that sounds completely ordinary. No mint mark? Wouldn't that make it common? That's exactly what makes this story so fascinating. In 1965, the United States Mint made a historic decision. To discourage coin hoarding, mint marks were temporarily removed from circulating coins. That means Roosevelt dimes dated 1965 1966 and 1967 normally have no mint mark, regardless of where they were struck. Because of that, many people assume every 1965 dime is identical. But experienced collectors know that is not always true. Some examples stand out because of extraordinary preservation, remarkable strike quality, unusual mint errors, or other highly desirable characteristics. Those are the coins that can create excitement in the collector market. Imagine finding a 1965 Roosevelt dime that has remained untouched for decades. Its surfaces still glow with original mint brilliance. The design remains sharp. Every detail of Roosevelt's portrait appears crisp. The torch on the reverse is beautifully defined. That is the kind of coin advanced collectors search for year after year. Now let's examine your coin. Start with the date. It should clearly read 1965. Next, check both sides carefully. You should not find a mint mark. That is completely normal for this year. Then inspect the overall condition. Even if your coin appears to be in fine condition today, look closely for unusual characteristics. Strong detail, original surfaces, excellent eye appeal, minimal scratches, sharp lettering. All of these features can increase collector interest. Now comes the exciting part. While the vast majority of the 1965 Roosevelt dimes are worth only face value or a small premium, exceptional certified examples or rare mint error varieties can command dramatically higher prices. For today's countdown, we're highlighting an extraordinary specimen with an estimated market value of around $50,700, the type of value associated with a truly remarkable coin rather than an ordinary circulated example. This is why experienced collectors never rush to spend older coins without checking them first. One unusual detail could completely change the story. Many valuable discoveries begin in the most ordinary places. Old family collections, coin jars, estate sales, antique shops, forgotten drawers. Every year, collectors uncover coins that have gone unnoticed for decades. That possibility keeps the excitement alive. Another important reminder, never clean your coin. Many people think polishing makes a coin more valuable. In reality, harsh cleaning can permanently damage the original surface and reduce collector value. Professional collectors almost always prefer original, untouched coins. If your 1965 Roosevelt dime appears especially well preserved or shows something unusual, place it in a protective holder and consider having it professionally authenticated. A grading service that can determine whether it is an ordinary example or something much more significant. Think about that for a moment. A tiny 10-cent coin, ignored for decades, suddenly becoming one of the most talked about pieces in a collection. That's exactly why millions of Americans continue checking their pocket change and inherited coin collections every year. Could your next discovery be hiding in plain sight? Don't stop watching, because Coin 5 is coming next, and its story becomes even more unbelievable. The biggest surprise of today's countdown is still waiting right here on Coin Master USA.